What's going on, everyone? My name is Tyler Swear. Again, I'm here trying to just give an update on what's going on here in Korea with the coronavirus. As you can see, I'm not wearing a mask today. I'm not being that theatrical or being that whatever. I'm just not wearing a mask. I'm inside. I don't need to do it, and it was a pain in the butt to wear that, but I hope the point got across. Today, I'm also not using a script, so if I use a lot of ums and things like that, I apologize, but I'm going to try to keep this video under 10 minutes just to get the full points across. I'm going to start off with what's going on around the world, and the numbers, I should say, what's going on around the world. And then the only other thing I'm going to talk about is what's happening here in Korea, as well as kind of maybe give some of my opinions about the way the government is handling things here. So let's just jump into it. Now, what I'm about to show you is it is a website. It's a Korean website about giving the most updated numbers on the coronavirus. Now, I understand that most of anyone watching this probably is not able to read Korean. That's why I'm going to translate it. And the reason I'm choosing it is because it is very updated. It is updated almost hourly at this point. So it is currently 7 o'clock here in Korea, the last 7 o'clock in the evening. In the last update of this was about 30 minutes ago. So this thing updates quite a bit. I check this every single day. Now, again, I'm not going to include China in this list of things to go over just because, again, I don't trust the numbers coming from China. I can't really believe them at this point. So not going to get into that for this video. So moving on, starting with Korea. Korea, we are currently at 6,593 cases with 43 deaths and 108 recoveries. Things have actually been kind of not leveling off, but we are no longer in an exponential climb as we were last week. So last week we were reaching really high limits, and it almost seemed like the numbers were doubling daily, but now it's just a consistent growth. So hopefully that means that the spread of the virus is being reduced, but hopefully we can just get it into the declining phase. But I'll give more information about the Korean side of things later. Let's just go on. Italy is at about 3,853 with 148 cases. When 414 recoveries. It's a bit strange to me, to be honest with you, but maybe someone smarter than me can give me more information of why that's the case. Iran is at 353,513 cases with 108 deaths. And again, very curious high number of recoveries in such a short amount of time. The reason I'm saying that is because Korea, we only have 108 recoveries, and well, we've had a kind of an outbreak in this part of the world much longer than Italy or Iran. Actually, Italy and Iran didn't really take off until almost a month after Korea's first case. So the numbers of recoveries are really strange. I'm not sure if they are really something you can trust. I'm not sure. So, but anyways, what's more concerning about this is their mortality rate. Their mortality rate is actually quite a bit higher than what's happening here in Korea. So we have only had 43 deaths, and in Italy they have had 148 deaths. So what's going on in Italy as far as this virus goes is really concerning, because it could have been related to a mutation with the virus or some type of evolution with the virus. I don't know. But whatever's happening there is really doing some numbers on people. So really, if you live in any of these countries, please just wash your hands, take care of yourself, don't go outside. This doesn't seem like a very good situation. Now, again, I don't mean to bring China up in this case, but we don't know which strain came from China in this particular case, because what's going on here in Korea, maybe it's due to good healthcare system, but that also doesn't make a lot of sense why Italy is having such a high number of fatalities. just because Italy in many cases would consider a developed country, and we just have more people just have better access to healthcare than they do in Iran. I mean, that's what we know. So again, if anybody's has any other information, please let me know. Moving along, this is the cruise ship. Not sure what really happened here. Actually, I saw a video of somebody who talked about this too. We're not really sure why the number of people on the cruise ship is actually less than it was before for amount of cases, because it used to be 700. Now it's 696. Not sure what's going on there. Anyways, we're gonna go kind of speed round here. Like I said, I want to keep this under 10 minutes. So Germany, 555 cases, no deaths, so that's good. Good job, Germany. France, 423. Japan hasn't grown a lot lately, so that's again good news. Um, Spain, 382, and then the U.S. at 233. Now it seems like finally, the U.S. is finally awake to this whole situation now, and I'm not saying it's any reason why because I made a video or anything. It just seems like it's pretty self-evident to the rest of everybody now that what's going on is it's something you should be really careful about. It's a very different situation than what we heard about a month ago when people were like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. The flu is worse and things like that. But now it's funny to see some of the same news media outlets saying how that by the way, I apologize for this not being centered, but the same media outlets saying how you shouldn't be concerned about it are now trying to give advice on how to deal with it. In my opinion, that's very it wasn't helpful from the beginning, and they aren't helpful now. So I get it that they don't want people to panic, but really, like I've talked about, there's so many levels of fear that one could have, and it's not just apathy and panic. All right, so so hopefully the U.S. will get a hold of that. It seems like there's more cases now, just maybe because they have proper testing kits, which again is amazing to me. How one of the quote richest countries in the world doesn't seem to have proper testing kits for their citizens. But anyways, as an American, that I can talk about politics later. So I want to kind of give some information of what's going on here. So I am currently on my second week without work. This is Friday now over here. And obviously quite bored. Actually, my friend and I, one of my friends, we decided to just bite the bullet and just go out. And we went for a hike on one of the mountains here in Korea. Honestly, it was something that we just had to do because we were just getting so bored. We were getting really just antsy. Now, I don't want to give off the impression that we're like that cities are under quarantine or anything like that, but everybody is very cautious about going out these days, and everybody is, people are very much on edge. And, it's kind of a really tough thing to go through right now as far as that goes, is because getting on the subway or anything like that, it sucks. It's not fun because everybody feels like you're an enemy of everyone. It's just how things are right now. And especially with the coronavirus having an outbreak in Italy, of course, now Koreans are also being kind of wary of Western foreigners. I haven't really experienced anything personally, but I've heard some stories. Again, I think they may be kind of rare cases. I think most people won't go into that realm of things. I might go over just a little bit. Okay, my new goal is 12 minutes because I'm about to hit 10. So that's kind of what's been going on here. It's just a lot of boredom. It's not like we're unable to go out and buy food or anything like that. People can still do that. We can also order food from online. So actually a lot of the online stores have, and they've been kind of hitting a boom right now because so many people are ordering food online. So on top of that, we've also, like I've come back to this, is that a lot of us are kind of out of work, especially if you're a teacher. The school year was supposed to start this week, and it's being postponed until I believe the 23rd. Luckily, I don't work in the public school. I work into a private academy. So hopefully by next week we're going to be going back to work. I'm not sure completely, to be completely honest. Um, but yeah, that's just kind of the case that's going on here right now. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some of the criticisms I have specifically about what the Korean government has done up until now. Up until now, actually, they've done a really good job. I do want to commend the Korean government for being very transparent and acting very quickly. Um, but well, I should say acting quickly when it was necessary. Once things became a problem, I should say. Because when we first had our first 28 cases or something like that, they were doing a really good job of trying to contain things. It's just an unfortunate case that they did not close the border, which is my biggest criticism of the Korean government. And I think most people have actually a pretty large criticism with regards to what they did. There was many opportunities for the government here to close the border, and they decided not to. And there's some reasons for that. Obviously, I'm not sure if if the elected officials really understood what was going on in China. Maybe they would have closed it faster if they were told the truth, and maybe they weren't told the truth. There's a lot of variables involved here that involve um, the reasons why they didn't close the border and reasons why and criticisms why they didn't close the border. So it's like there's it's much more complicated than just saying how dare you not close the border. But yeah, that's the case that's going on right here. Actually, that's been my biggest criticism, is that they just didn't close the border, and that was one of the reasons why this whole outbreak began in the first place. Like I said, we had about 30 cases. It was clean for about almost a week, and then a group came back from China, and there everything just began. So um, uh, transparency from the very beginning would have been a little bit nicer to see from the Korean government, but that's just not what we got. Um, so one thing I'll finish off with my praises for what they've done. So there's been other things that they've done that have been really cool. For example, they've had drive-through check-ins, which means that people who are maybe curious, or if they're not sure if they have the virus, they can do a drive-through check. They, go to a hospital or something like that. They drive through some checkpoint area. They get a swab. They sit around for like an hour or so, and be told if they have the virus or not. And from my understanding, well, this is another cool thing, is that the Korean government, if you come track the virus, is they will pay for 100% of all the treatments that you will receive. So you will not have to pay anything. So that's all. It's all really cool things to see, especially since I've been hearing some news that if people don't have insurance in the U.S., they're kind of screwed, and that's not really good to hear. So, anyways, that's what's been going on here. I hope it's been informative. I hope that anybody watching this has some idea, or at least friends or family. If you're concerned about me, this is what's going on. So you can whatever you choose to take away from this video. So thanks again. As always, well, not as always, but maybe next week I'll also make some update again to see what's going on. So thanks again. Bye bye.